Good morning, good morning. Mic check. How we doing? For a minute there, I was talking to myself because I hadn't clicked the mic piece over. Trying to figure out why no one was answering me. I was like, wow, there's just no love in here for me. Just kidding. Michael Jackson check. It was pretty good actually. I entertained myself pretty well. No, I was doing all the mic check business, and I was like, "Hello, anyone? Bueller? There must be a very very long there must be a very long delay here." Okay, so I would like to go over uh, the Sniper 1.0 and the Sniper 2.0 trade. Just for all the newbies, if you're new and you'd like a quick rundown of the difference between a Sniper 1.0 and a 2.0 and kind of how I trade them, put a 2 in chat, please. Okay, perfect. So let's do a quick session on the differences between a Sniper 1.0 and a Sniper 2.0. And yes, I am recording this, Sharky. So we started out the sniper journey, as it were. We started out the sniper journey using the ready aim fire indicator. Let me turn off these other ones real quick so I do not confuse too many people here. The Sniper 1.0, I use the ready aim fire indicator down here, which is a paid indicator. Okay, it's this one here. For the Sniper 1.0s, I don't use it as much for the Sniper 2.0s. This is an indicator that shows oversold and overbought conditions, where when the line gets above this band in the middle, that's overbought, and when it gets below, that's oversold, depending on the time frame. And then this pink line that travels through here is an RSI line, and we get triggers when RSI crosses over. So this is just a paid indicator that is a combination of sorry, a MACD. Sorry, this is a pink line's a MACD. So you can see here, this is a regular RSI indicator, right? When we get oversold here, you can see this box here. We are oversold in this condition, and we are also oversold in this condition. See how it gets below the line? And this RSI is a free indicator. Okay, so we're overbought here, and we're overbought up here. Now the parameters are a little bit different the way they're set, but you can accomplish the same thing there. And then the arrows indicate a crossover in the MACD. So you can see we get some arrows here, and then there's a crossover here, right? So they don't line up perfectly because this is actually a different MACD indicator that I'm using, but you can accomplish these without this paid indicator. So a Sniper 1.0 is capturing reversals. Okay, here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. This one took a little bit longer, right? These are reversals, and we're usually playing these on a 2 to 3 minute time frame. And what we're looking for, let me find a good example. Well, we've almost got a sniper on a 2 minute happening here. So these colored candles are called ES candles. Okay, they're early signal candles. They basically change to the same color as a TTM squeeze. Okay. So when you have red momentum candles, that means we have downward momentum. And then yellow is rounding and light blue is moving up. And then just like the TTM squeeze, dark blue is rounding down and red is, as I had said before, is further rounding. So you can see that if we put the Squeeze Pro indicator on here, which I don't have it on right now, right? But you can see the candles follow this histogram color, and they change just a hair early. That's why they're called early signals. So you see this red, these are still red, 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 red. We get a yellow candle here, and then we don't get a yellow histogram change for another 2 candles. So they're early signal candles to try and help you notice a potential trend change, right? And that's a free indicator. And so what we're looking for in these Sniper 1.0 setups, and a Sniper 1.0 is going to work better on a day like today when we don't have a lot of trend selling or trend buying. When we have trend selling and trend buying, the Sniper 1.0s do not work as well because we get a lot of false signals, okay? So what we're looking for in this kind of a situation, and I want to find a good one here, so let me pull up my Ready Aim Fire and turn off my Thinkorswim. Let me go to a 1 minute, see if I can get one on a 1 minute. Okay, so here's a decent one. On a 1 minute time frame. We didn't really get it here, but we are looking for, so we see if we're looking for a reversal off of here, we're looking for an oversold condition, right? So we're getting into oversold, and we're looking for the candle color to change from red to yellow. And we're looking for the indicator to fire here, okay, which would be a MACD crossover if you're using both RSI and MACD. This would have been a little late because we had a red candle and then we had a yellow candle. It still would have worked, but it would have been pretty extended when you tried to get in. So a better example, let's go to yesterday. There was a good one. Let's see, where were we yesterday? There was a good one. Here we go. On this low here, okay? So yesterday, you see we're coming down. We have red candles, red candles, red candles, red candles. We start to get into this oversold condition, right? We have a red candle transfer to a yellow candle, and on that candle close, we get a trigger, okay, right? So we ride that for about 15 to 20%, okay? We wait for this candle to close, the yellow candle to close, and the trigger to happen on that 1 minute candle, or if we're trading a 3 minute, right? Because what'll happen is you'll see a yellow candle start to form, but the candle, the 1 minute or the 3 minute isn't up. And you'll see this triangle start to form, and then it'll start to move down within that first 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden this disappears, and that candle changes back to red, so you have to wait for a candle close, okay? And we're looking to catch about 10 to 20%, and our stop is usually a break below that, whatever the swing low was. See, here's another one here, right? If this would have broken below this level, we're going to stop out. So they're tight stops and they're reversals. And we're using the early signal candles and either RSI MACD or the Ready Aim Fire indicator. But you have to own the Ready Aim Fire indicator from Simpler Trading. Does anybody have questions on this, how the Sniper 1.0s are traded? I'm using SPX on an oversold condition. I'm buying calls, usually 1 to 2 lots. sometimes 3, depending. And then on the overbought, I'm buying a put. There are 0 DTEs for me, and they move relatively quickly. So please, if you see a indication or a notification in chat that I'm looking at one of these, please understand that they move very fast. And by the time I've typed in that I've entered, we may be, I may already be about to exit that position, right? So you have to kind of learn. I'm telling you, one is setting up, right? Like on the 3 minute, oh, it was a 2 minute here. See, we got one on the 2 minute. Our indicator here was a little late, but we got our candle colors from light blue to dark blue, and then we got our MACD crossover. We could have entered here, and then we would have caught this little piece. We'd be getting out right now for, I don't know, probably 15, 20%. I toggle between the 1, the 2, and the 3 minute. Okay? Because sometimes it's going to form better on a 3 minute or a 2 minute. For the 1.0, I rarely use the 1 minute. I'm usually on the 2 and the 3 minute. Okay, once you get into this trade, it's your job to manage it. You can also do the same thing with the SPY. 10 contracts of the SPY equal 1 contract of the SPX. So it's a 10-to-1 instrument, right? And, if 1 contract of the SPX at the money options is too rich for your blood, you can buy 1 or 2 SPYs. Okay? So the indicators that you need for the Sniper 1.0 are the early squeeze candles, RSI, and MACD. Okay, that's what this video is about. So I'm talking about that right now. Okay, so what we found with the 1.0s, or what I found with the 1.0s, was on a trend day, the turns look like they're setting up, and then they just roll over on you. And then they look like they're setting up, and then they just roll over on you. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to capture a larger part of the move. Okay. So for instance, if we go to a 3 minute here on yesterday's move up, right? I would have been trying to catch, this transfer here on this 3 minute chart, maybe taking it down to here. But what I wanted was this. And we don't always know when that's happening, right? I wanted the 30, 40, 50%. And we don't always know when that's happening. So I developed what I call the Sniper 2.0. And I trade those more now than I do the 1.0s. On a day like today, where we're just ranging in here, the 1.0 works fine. And sometimes a 1.0 can turn into a 2.0, and then you're looking at 100% sometimes, right? Depending on what you're playing. But I do recommend, when you have some good profit and you come into a certain level, is that you try and take it off, because these can reverse on you so fast. So the 2.0 is using 2 additional free indicators, and I figured out a way to do this with free indicators. So, and I'm happy to share this chart with everybody. Okay. This is a cloud-based trend indicator. You can see when there's a red cloud, it's a downtrend, right? And when there's a green cloud, there is an uptrend. Okay. And I've kept the ES candles, and then I'm also using a a market structure indicator as well. Okay. And those are the two indicators that I've added to this. They're both free on TradingView. So let me draw a little trend line there. Actually, it's going to come down to about there. And then looks like we'll have another one kind of right here. Okay. And so within the confines of these two trading methodologies, there's a lot of chart reading that goes on with this as well. So the 2.0 trade is looking for a change in the trend. I play these more on a 1 and 2 minute chart. So a 1.0 is a 2 to 3 minute chart. Excuse me, and a 2.0 is a 1 to 2 minute chart. Sometimes a trigger on the 1 minute can inform the 2 minute. Okay, so on a 1.0, I was looking for this reversal, right? For 10 to 20%. On the 2.0, I'm looking for a continuation of the move, right? And so a continuation of the move for me is a confirmation that we've moved into red candles, like this is to the downside. We've moved into red candles. And we've switched our trend on the 1 minute and then eventually on the 2 minute if it's more of a trend day. We've switched from a green cloud to a red cloud, and this indicator actually gives you a little white symbol on the candle where that break happens, which is kind of nice. And this I was just poking around for different types of trend-based indicators, and I found this one, which was pretty neat, and it's free, which is nice. So what I'm looking for the 2.0, right, is a previous 1.0 signal, right? And you don't need this ready aim fire to do that. You can just see that with RSI. You're coming out of a oversold or overbought condition, right? So on a down trade, this would be blue candles changing to red candles, right? And a crossover in trend. Okay, and I'm waiting for candles to close to confirm that. All right, and then I'm playing this move here. Does that make sense? Now, what I'm doing is, as you can see, how do I plan my exits? Well, exits are based on trend lines and or fibs. Okay, so if I measure this drop, this previous drop, and measure it up to this piece up here, okay, I get a fib line about right here. So this drop came in and it didn't quite make it all the way to that fib, right? It kind of reversed. Let's see if I can find another one. So this drop here, oh, that's going to be too low, right? A lot of times the SPY will work either to a trend line or to a fib level. Sorry, there's people doing work outside. I hope that's not too noisy. And you can catch a little bit more of a move. But then on a day like today, where Sniper 1.0s are working pretty well, the Sniper 2.0 continuation is going to be much more abbreviated, right? So recognizing what kind of a day you're in is pretty important. Like I caught this move here, right? But it felt like a trend. It felt like a kind of a sideways day, and so I took it off. I took it off early. I took it off here, and we had so much more, right? But I didn't realize we were going to drop quite that low. Okay, we might have a Sniper 1.0 setting up right here. but I would need to move over to a 2-minute chart to see. Does anybody have any questions on that? Now I'm going to show you how I do that. I opened up a secondary version of my Thinkorswim, put it in simulated training mode. I used this for a few weeks to test this strategy as well. So it's already set up, but here's what I do. So I'm going to bring this window in. Let me see. Let's say we're going to try and play a 1.0 right now. Okay, so this is what my window looks like. I put my calls up here, and I put my puts down here. So I flip over to trade. I grab the slightly in the money 0 DTE calls, like if I'm going to try and trade this right now, and I paste it in here like this. Okay, and then I'm waiting for this. We're on this candle here, right? So what I'm waiting for is this candle to close. That candle is just closed, right? And I'm not recommending taking this trade. I'm just showing you how I do it, okay? So let's say I'm buying 2 contracts. There's not a very big spread. That candle just closed, but I'm watching this candle here take a little bit of a dip. So I'm kind of on pause for the moment. Okay, I have not taken the trade yet. I'm waiting to see what this candle does. Okay, so now now I'm in on a 1.0. Right? This is just an example. I don't love the setup right now. You know, this is only on a 1-minute chart, right? We don't have a 2-minute setting up. We don't have a 3-minute setting up. So, and on a 3-minute, we've got a red candle forming. So I'm just showing you how I enter and exit trades. All right. So then I've got my calls here. And remember, this is a simulated account. So I'm not right now. I'm not risking real money. This is just an example. And this is a good way to practice, right? If you want to learn how to trade these and how quickly they move, this is a great way to practice. Okay. So now I'm just waiting to see if this 2.0 is going to go. Now, the other reason I didn't love this was because we were outside of our previous trend. So my stop in this case, right, is a move below that swing low. Okay, so I'm going to put it in red so we know where my stop is. And then let's see how we're doing on it. The 2.0 is still made. I mean, the 2-minute is still slightly setting up. Yeah, these are 0 DTEs. And I really don't like how the price action is playing right now. But the ticks aren't getting super negative at the moment. Okay. So it looks to me like maybe a 2.0 could be setting up here. Not yet, though. We're starting to get a little oversold. Let's see how we are here. Yeah, we're not quite there on the true RSI. Okay. So back to our 1 minute. We're getting a little bit of a move. We probably get a move back up into VWAP at the very least. Right? We're up about 80 bucks, 100 bucks on 2 lots. Okay, now we're up some more. I'm gonna put my sell order in there at 240 bucks. Ooh, just jumped right past me. So right here, this might be a 1.0 turning into a 2.0. Okay, now we're getting a crossover from our trend-based lines. Okay, now we've formed a trigger on the 2 minute. The 2 minute has not crossed over. So I'm watching it. I'm watching the ticks to see if they're coming up a lot. They're not really. So then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, all right, that's good enough for me. I'm out 360 bucks. That's on 2 lots though. So, 100 and 150 or whatever. And there's always a delay in this thing triggering because it's pretend. And if it's not triggering, you can just say flatten or sell market, right? Because the spread is really quite tight. Okay, so it's about 360 bucks there on a 2 lot. And this could keep moving. I wish I had done that trade in the actual account because that would have been a nice 360. Right? And so now we're into a potential 2.0, right? Because we've had a crossover here and we're above VWAP. But as you can see, we're not doing much today. We're just kind of doing this. So, and this trend, we kind of have a little bit of a flag forming, right? So I'm not sure that that's going to have a lot of continuation in it. It might. I mean, what we might see is a move up, a move down, and then we might come into that VWAP and then move up into here. And then maybe break, maybe not. Maybe roll back down and just keep into this tight range. I set up the trade portion. And again, I'm using for this example, I'm using you can see it up here. It says simulated trading. This is a great way to practice. I used so as you can see, I've copied my option contract into the field here. So I go over to my trade, right? I come in here and I'm buying either at the money or one in the money. So I right click that, right? Those are the 50 30s. I copy them. I come back over and I paste it into this field here. Okay, and it puts that option contract in there. And what I like to do is put the puts at the same level I'm at right over here, so I can be quick in and out if I need to. Right, I have this for this example, I have it preloaded at 2, right, 2 contracts, but for most people it's going to be 1 or it's going to be the SPY. You can do the same thing on the SPY. Come over here and you go SPY and you go to your 0 DTEs here, right, and you say, okay, I'm going to buy the 501s or the 504 puts. and you just right click them and put them into your windows. And the reason I have this set up this way is because sometimes you'll get a fake out to the upside or the downside, and then a reversal and a signal on a reversal. And so you want to be able to capture, you want to be able to say, oh, that's wrong. I'm going to stop out of the call and immediately get into puts. So I just kind of have them always preloaded, and I'm changing them based on where the price is moving. Does that help? Yeah, you could, and you can even OCO. When I was doing the 1.0s initially, I was putting in, like a 15% stop loss and a 25% target, and putting them on and just letting them run. I didn't like that as much because there's a little bit more of an art to it. Yeah, this is not Thinkorswim. This is, oh, you mean this? Yeah, I have that just set up as a chart, right? The active windows. So you could go, it could be a chart, right? Or you just turn the chart off and turn the active trader on. And then this is the TradingView chart, which I can share with you. And if the only thing it's not going to share is this Ready Aim Fire indicator, because that's a paid indicator that you have to own. It'll just show up as blank. Okay, so copy, and then I'm going to put sniper setup. There you go. I would Google that, Nate. It's not hard to do, but I'm not going to do it in this video right now. I can do it some other time if you like. Yeah, this is TradingView, and this is the Ready Aim Fire. When you own one of these indicators that are paid, you can usually use them across multiple platforms. Yeah, the color on this early signal candles is just essentially the histogram colors, and they change a hair early. That same thing we use in our TTM squeeze. Art, it's just under the trade tab at the top. Yeah, a 2.0 can be a continuation of a 1.0. But what sometimes you get lucky and it happens, like the trade we just did as an example. We traded this 1.0 into a 2.0 signal, and I took it off, and look what happened. It just rolled right back over. If conditions were different, and we get that signal, and then also, the ticks start popping up here, I'm going to let that 1.0 roll into a 2.0. You can also, if you're playing SPY, let's say you take 5 contracts on a 1.0, you can take, 3 off into that spike up, and then let 2 ride for a continuation, and just put those at a break even. Like, so for instance, the other thing I do sometimes if I'm doing toss, so this is simulated trading. Let's just say, oh, okay, this looks like a good short. Okay, so I'm not recommending this trade. I'm showing an example. Okay, I don't think this looks great for a short right now because we're ranging. But what I need to do is I need it to move so I can show you an example. So this is just an example trade that I'm getting into. It looks like it's going to bounce, but what you can do with this active trader window is, let's say we were in profit up here, right? So our bid and our ask are up here at 400%, and we're trying, or $400, and we're trying to play a trade that we want to let it run a little bit. Maybe we've taken off one or two contracts, and we'd like to put the rest at break even. We can put a stop order. I don't want to put it in there because it'll limit, it'll take me out. But once you're above it, see, like let's say, I mean, we can sit here and watch it if we want for this for this example, but I don't know that it's going to go positive and roll over here or not. But you can put in right at break even. So this is your break even line, right? Let's say our bid and our ask is above it, but I'm going to put it right here. You can just put a stop order in right at break even. And if it starts to go, right, in this case it's a short, right? If it goes and then all of a sudden reverses on you and starts to come back, but you were already in profit a little bit, and then you've got your stop in there at break even, it's just, it's a no loss trade. Okay, so this is going to start moving a little bit, maybe. And again, I'm not recommending this trade. And so this is another example of, the way this change of character. So let's say we had gotten a good signal, more of a clean signal like this up here, right? Right. See, we went from, we're chopping right now. We went from trend down to minor trend up to trend down again. But when you start to get the red candles, trend down, and you get a bearish change of character, right? Or a bullish break of structure, you can see those here. Those are also good indicators that you're trading it in the right direction. And or sometimes you'll get those right at a breakthrough. Okay, so in this example, right, we're now, we're up $500. So what I could do is say, all right, well, I'm going to take one off right here, like if I'm trading multiple, right? And then I have to wait for that to process because these simulated tradings are weird. And then I could come in here and say, okay, I'm going to put my second at a break even stop. So I've taken, where do we take that off? So I've taken like $250 out of that trade, and I'm letting the rest, or the other half, or usually if I was taking more, I'd it'd be like a third. I'm going to let the other third run for more with a break even stop. So at the very least, I've taken $250 out of this trade. Or I could get more. You could roll over more. Does that make sense? And then as it comes down further, I say, okay, well, that's enough. I think it's going to reverse here, right? We could come over here and say, all right, well, this drop went to there, so this drop probably will go to kind of right where it was, right? Okay, so let's watch see how quickly that reversed. So now I don't have to panic, right? Oh my God, I'm coming back to my break even. I've already taken some profit into that dip, and now it's most likely going to take me out here. So I made profit. I didn't make double the profit, but that's okay. And then that'll just take me out on its own. Does that make sense to everyone? I like the quicker leverage 3Bs of the SPX. The lighter blue ones, those are just the histogram colors like this. And you can see we're just going to continue to range here. So, and it moves pretty quickly. We went from, 250 to $300 back to zero in, 1 minute. So you got to be ready to move. I shared this. These are all free indicators except for this one down here at the bottom, and I just shared the chart with everybody in the room above. I just did that most. Literally just put in my orders and showed how I did that. Yeah, newbie, you could do the 2x and 3x versions. You can do whatever you want. You also don't have to do these trades in Thinkorswim. You can do them, in any other broker. You just have to be able to get in and get out relatively quickly and know how to do that. Cat, I don't think you need it. I can trade these without it, no problem. I mean, you can choose to get it if you want. I mean, I think it's like $700. Oh, no. 1.0 is reversals, 2.0 is continuations. Yep, that's correct. Not in this video, most. You can Google how to do that. It's pretty easy. You don't limit. You can't. These just they hit when they hit, and so you don't take everyone, right? Yeah, other criteria have to be met. Candle change color outside of the purple lines. Generally, you need to have a green or a red condition, right? Yeah, Lizzie says she's been doing it without the paid indicator. So, break of structure and change of character is what these mean. It's just it helps, this is a character, right? It breaks. So that tells you that you're getting a change of character. Here's a break of structure. It just helps you realize, if you don't chart read all that well, that you're coming out of, a pattern basically. By themselves, they almost mean nothing, but within the confines of this trading style, let's say you're playing a continuation trade here, a 2.0, and then you get this change of character. Well, okay, maybe I can hold a little longer through that, right? Because that's more of a confirmation that we're continuing our move up. Or in the reverse, right? You're in a continuation trade to the down, you're in a 2.0, and you start to get a change of character, a bearish change of character. Okay, well, then I'm going to hold for a little bit longer because I feel like we're going to get a little bit more here. And then obviously you're playing around VWAP. VWAP acts as support and resistance. So what I don't like, these are not my favorite times to trade like right now, because you're just kind of consolidating around VWAP. And I bet if we jump over to 30-minute on a SPY, I bet we're almost in a 30-minute squeeze. We are in a 30-minute squeeze. Right. Definitely going to be in a 15-minute squeeze. Are we? No, we're not. Oh, yeah. We're 2 dots in. So as we start to get into squeezes, the 1.0s become a better trade, and the 2.0s you just don't get the follow through. I have no idea, Depp. I don't do this on Thinkorswim. You sent an email and document to feedback about feedback where? Yeah, there's an indicator on here on TradingView called the sniper, which is kind of a bummer. I played around with it a little bit since somebody pointed it out. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for the signals that it gave. I was kind of bummed that it was already called the sniper. Steve, that's exactly what I've spent the last hour doing. I'll have it up on YouTube in the next hour or so. All right, I'm going to stop the recording, but I will continue to answer some questions for the next few minutes.